am organized. I can build powerful foundation for my success in this life, and I will structure my reality. I was unhappy, and why? I didn't master truly the codes of self-love. I have to trust life. I have to trust men, even if they broke my heart so many times. You know, my first man, he actually stole money from me, and then I met my husband and he asked from me money again. He was not husband of mine at that time, but I saw his purity. We are given that gift, girls, to be connected in between the worlds, to see the unseen, and that first inner sensation, it's always right. I did many mistakes, like we all do, and we just need to forgive ourselves and move forward. We are so connected in between these two worlds. That is the ultimate power. Now, we will be talking about the encryption of codes of the Emperor code within you by using the affirmations. Affirmations is a powerful tool which we can use here and there to encrypt it into our psyche, the code of structure. This is the main code for this card. I am organized. I can build powerful foundation for my success in this life, and I will structure. I will structure my reality. I will structure my day. Now, what else you can do is look at your guidebook in case if you have our deck, and here there is another affirmation which I created for you is I am an established person. I am proud of my accomplishments. You can create your own affirmations which will speak to you so that you could encrypt the code of structure and self-organization within you. Now, these codes are really, really important to make any kind of impact into this world, to start, let's say, new endeavor, new business, find a new job, be successful in your career. If you don't own those codes of self-organization and structure, forget about it. Now, I was really owning those codes when I was living alone, and I came into that tremendous masculinity level, but at the same time I didn't really own at that time the Empress codes, the codes of all abundance and all nurturing, being completely safe and in harmony with this creation. I kind of overjumped that card, and guess what? I went into my complete masculinity. I started having lots of problems with my health, especially in my feminine area. And I didn't know at that time that overjumping through the cards, and I was already like into that deep research of the tarot world at that time. I didn't know that when you overjump them, you can suffer the consequences. So if we go to the Emperor code and we don't really master the code of the Empress, of all these ultimate abundance level, right? Self-nurturing, self-love, we are doomed to experience the consequences of that ultimate control and suffocation of our reality. We kind of like, I remember that I was living alone at that time, and I remember that I had money, I had a successful career, I worked as a manager in a really amazing company, the credit insurance company at that time, but I was so unhappy. I led the department of 10 people, I really loved all the people around me, but guess what? Somehow I didn't feel happy. I thought, that's it. That's what I actually wanted all my life, just to live on my own terms, alone in my beautiful apartment in this big city, surrounded by all these beautiful people, like managing them, directing them, being able to afford myself all what I could. I was buying really luxurious things all around. By the way, the codes of Emperor and Empress, it's luxury, right? So remember that as well. And what I figured out for myself, I was unhappy. And why? I didn't master truly the codes of self-love. So I had to go down from the Emperor, come back to my complete femininity, because I was too much into my masculinity and I was into that ultimate control. But I was holding over that control, and I didn't really master that safety level within me, being in harmony with life and trusting life. Now, afterwards, I met my husband. I made that decision that I have to trust life. I have to trust men. Even if they broke my heart so many times, I will still trust men. You know, my first man, he actually stole money from me, and then I met my husband and he asked from me money again, and I was just like, gosh, either I trust this man or I will not trust life. And he had some difficulties in his financial situation. He was in debts at that time, my husband, and I gave him still those $5,000 which he asked just for some lawyer expenses, and guess what? It was the right thing to do. He was the man. I just trusted my heart. I just saw that the guy really needs it at this moment, and I can provide him. I have this money in my bank account, all right, but I could just hold over this money and say, no way I will do, and no way I will support you. You are all guys bastards here. You again ask me like the first guy, he betrayed me, and the first guy actually took exactly around $5,000 from me, and I was thinking, oh my god, that's a test. That's a test. But I still decided to trust life, and you know what? Everything was well in the end because I trusted my senses despite all what this demon is saying to me. Alright, so yeah, it is coming back to that self-nurturing, self-love aspect and connecting to the heart self-organizing center. Not being naive, but connecting to the self-organizing heart center. I looked into the eyes of my husband. He was not husband of mine at that time, but I saw his purity. By the way, the guy who stole money from me, I immediately saw when we just met that he was not the right guy, but I didn't trust my senses. I was ruled by hormones. And then I analyzed this. We always know actually that thing that this guy is to trust and this person is not to trust. Somehow we are given that gift, girls, to be connected in between the worlds, to see the unseen. And that first inner sensation, it's always right. Our intuition is so highly developed. We are gifted by all the universe to connect to it. So I remember how I looked into the eyes of that thief, you know, and I've seen he's not the guy to trust. But I still moved by hormones at that time. We all do mistakes, right? Those who don't act here, they don't do mistakes. So I acted, I did many mistakes like we all do, and we just need to forgive ourselves and move forward. That took me time. But I trusted my inner sense, my intuition that my future husband, his name is also Yuli. We are Yuli and Yulia here, that he's the right guy. And no matter what the hard situation the guy was at that moment, I just saw the beauty of his soul and I decided to trust life, you know? So our intuition is powerful here. And at that moment, I'm just so proud of that, my small accomplishment, which is not that small. It is actually the defining accomplishment, that ability to trust life, that ability to trust life in the form of another person. Again, even if someone betrayed you in the past. But that's not that someone betrayed you, really. It's basically you decided not to trust your intuition, because internally we all know, we all see, especially we are women, we are so connected in between these two worlds. That is the ultimate power. And many guys here, they call us witches, right? They are afraid of ours, but we know that that's the power and we are somehow gifted by all the creation here with it. So let's use it and let's start trusting life.